1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lakeside Stadium for today's clash between South Melbourne and Calder United. The Calder United starting lineup is as follows. Number 21, Picker. Number 19, Smith. 15, Hayson. Number 12, the captain, Icky. Number 5, Lauro. Number 2, Langley. 13, Aiton. 7, Shimizu. 93, Richards. 14, Lung. And number 8, Ando. And the starting lineup for South Melbourne FC, in goals, number 1, Christina Esposito, number 4, Danielle Nicolet, number 5, Sophie Papatanis, number 7, Francesca Yolano, number 8, Bella Swords, number 9, Taylor Christensen, 14, Misha Westland, 17, Dargana Cage, number 20, Grace Rapp, 22, Grace Taranto, and 25, returning to the club, Leah Varley.
Good afternoon and welcome to Lakeside Stadium here at South Melbourne's home ground. We're here for Female Football Week and it's a fantastic matchup here for you this afternoon. We have Calder United up against the host South Melbourne in this Female Football Week blockbuster. It's going to be a tough matchup for both teams today. We can see South Melbourne sitting 5th on the table as we speak. Calder sitting a lowly 8th. They're not used to that position on the table, certainly not at this stage of the season. It's a little bit different today. We have the window opening. So a lot of the A-League players that have not previously fixtured in this season so far turning up today. Talking of A-League superstars, we have alongside myself, Melissa Barbieri, I have my teammate at Melbourne City, Laura Hughes, on the mic today. Laura, welcome to NPL Victoria. It's your first day on comments. What are you looking forward to today?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting match. I'm looking forward to it. First time on commentary. Thanks for having me, Bubs.
It's my absolute pleasure. We're going to go through the lineups as we start to see Calder get ready to take the kickoff. Calder only have a couple of changes. Only. They have into the squad an Ava Breedis, Lucy Richards, and Natalie Pitchak, all signed within that window coming from the A-League. But in terms of their usual starters, it's otherwise unchanged. Lucy Richards will come in. She's playing at right wing this afternoon. As we see Eki go long early. Papatsanis cleans up for South Melbourne, but it's quickly taken off her by the Calder striker. Lucy Richards on the ball early, getting some early touches for her teammates. Calder in the colours of their sister club, Western United, in the green and the black. For South Melbourne, they have some new faces also. Leah Varley returning from her stint with Melbourne City. She's sitting opposite Grace Taranto in the back line for South Melbourne this afternoon, as Grace Rapp picks up the ball in central midfield and trying to move forward through Christensen out on the right wing. Nearly bundled off the ball this time. Calder moving forward in swift pace, but Misha Westland able to pick it up for South Melbourne. Iamano calms it down for South Melbourne. Iamano going long. Dragana Klajic couldn't quite keep it in. Calder happy to see it out for a throw. Tanzim Smith with the throw. Doesn't go as far, but Calder picking up possession. Wrap on it for South Melbourne. Gets the ball forward. Trying to find the run of Christensen, but it goes all the way to Pitchak. We see Maya Hyson get the ball out for Calder United. It's a bit cagey in these opening few moments. The nerves will be coming to the fore. There's great pressure there by Danielle Wise, but Calder out of danger.
Yeah, South Melbourne on the front foot early, so that's good signs for them.
Ball's cut back. Wise sends it over the bar. Great forward momentum by South Melbourne. They're putting the pressure high on Calder in these opening stages. Calder looking to bounce back from one of their worst defeats in the league history, going down to Preston, 8-0. It was a very clinical performance by Preston, so Calder will be looking to bounce back, create some opportunities here today at Lakeside. Large pitch. Hopefully they can get some good combination play. Some players coming into the fore for them, maybe making that energy rise, bringing that A-League mentality to the squad. Papatsanis with the throw. Christensen on the turn. Well dealt with by Aiton in the midfield. Tasmania clearing for Calder. Calls for a throw-in. Heated by the referee. Referee Daphne Gunaris today with ARs Georgia Booth, Alia Basti and fourth official Costa Limberis taking charge this afternoon. Papatanis with the long throw. Christensen giving chase, but well held up by Calder to get into that goal kick scenario. Pitchak just waving up her teammates, telling them to get up the park. She's going to go long here. Christina Esposito in possession for South Melbourne. One of the Canberra kin of Laura Hughes.
Yeah, she spent 3 seasons with us. She's a great asset, so it'll be good to have her between the sticks today.
Cleared by South Melbourne, be a Calder throw in. Taken quickly by Tamsin Smith. Taranto cleared for South Melbourne. Rapp plays forward to Christensen, but she can't quite manage to play through the gaps. Big double-handed push by Leah Varley. A little bit overzealous in that challenge.
Yeah, I like the partnership here between Gracie Taranto and Leah Varley. It'll be a strong bond, I'm seeing, throughout the game.
Emma Langley, formerly of Box Hill, to take the free kick. She plays short into Richards. She has Tamsin Smith on her outside, unable to control. Under pressure, Iamano picks up possession. She does well there. She's trying to play out. Varley turns out. Finds Westland in the midfield. Esposito calm on the ball, trying to find some clear-cut possession. She finds Papatsanis in the end. Lovely combination play. Rapp gets on the ball, plays it out to Christensen on the right wing, but unfortunately Christensen can't bring the ball down and make anything fruitful of that lovely display of football.
Yeah, great little play out from the back there from South Melbourne. Good signs.
Now Calder's turn to try and play some football, but once again, that pressure from South Melbourne culminating in them picking up possession. It's all the ball in the South Melbourne half at the moment. Possession high for them. Grace Taranto. She has her head up. She's driving through that midfield. Does nearly get dispossessed by Langley. Ends up being a Calder throw. Great energy from Grace Taranto. They're trying to move the ball forward through that midfield. Just couldn't find that pass forward. Great pressure from Calder to pick up possession. Akane Shimizu on the ball. Gets the ball to Langley, who goes long. The flick on from Richards can't be met by Jen Lum. Yamano. Back to Varley. Westland tightly marked by Richards. Great turn out of pressure there by Varley. Pressure from Shimizu, can't get the ball back to Calder away. Another foul on Misha Westland means that South Melbourne has possession once again. Great control by Christensen in the midfield there. She plays the ball forward to Wise. She has Sewards and Dragana Klajic in the middle. Ball bouncing. That'll be a tough one for Pitchak. As it was on target, she is allowed to pick it up. Great control by Harriet Lowry on the left-hand side. Quick throw again by Papatsanis. So Georgiadis has shuffled that South Melbourne lineup up a little. Bella Sewards have been playing on the right wing in recent weeks. Now Christensen out on the right with Danielle Wise straight down the centre and Sewards sitting inside in that 10 position. Much better suited to her, I think. Langley does well to pick up possession from Rapp. Striving forward, Harriet Lowry. Great challenge by Varley, though. Well timed, well executed, and she's making a gut-busting run forward. She's still calling for it.
Thought that run was going to be rewarded then, but not quite. Bit of a decoy run.
Great run by Varley. Seward tries to find the inside run of Klajic, but maybe ran out of steam with that pass. Maya Hyson doing well to find Shimizu. Richards forward. Jen Lum inside to Shimizu again. Lovely play by Calder this time, but Papatanis cuts out that forward pass. Papatanis unable to find feet in that central area. Still very cagey match. This next part of the season will look entirely different, with a few teams will be picking up some A-League players as they look to have an off-season, still playing football. South Melbourne throw deep in their defensive half. Christensen trying to hold the ball up. Rapp able to get it to Westland. Yamano comes inside. Through Westland. Now with Varley. Grace Taranto into midfield, but picked off by Emma Langley. Pace to burn, Langley. She's looking for people to pass to, but she can't quite make the mark. Experienced defending by Iamano. Able to gather forward with Bella Sewards. Varley once again tough in the challenge, but this time Jen Lum able to carry forward. Ball into the box. Shimizu! She finds the space, but she gets it right into Esposito's leg, but then the follow-up shot, absolutely brilliant by Mami Ambo. The follow-up shot, that's why you should always follow in to shots by teammates. Christina Esposito was able to get an initial great block in, but the ball just straight fell to Mami Ambo. Clinical finish in the end.
Yeah, a bit unlucky there for Esposito. She'll be disappointed with that. South Melbourne not quite able to follow up the second shot, but great initiation from Calder.
Yeah, it really was against the run of play a little bit. South Melbourne did seem to have a little bit more of the possession, but couldn't get any of the ball going forward. But Leah Varley just a little bit too hot-headed in that challenge, allowing Jen Lum to use that pressure to turn her. And once she found that space, she got the ball into the box. The initial shot blocked by Shimizu, but clinical finish by Mami Ambo. This will buoy the Calder spirits. Seward against Aiton for Calder. Iamano looking to take a quick throw. Shimizu, tidy play there by the Japanese player. Christensen trying to put pressure on the Ike. Aiton, lovely pass to Shimizu. The ball over the top is early. Papatsanis is giving chase. Esposito is there. Shouts for Calder to be pressing really, really high from the Calder bench. That real tempo change. A lot different to the one that they had against Preston.
Calder definitely growing in confidence in this game with that early goal.
Certainly are. Seeing a lot more players playing in their natural positions. Well won by Jennifer Lum. She managed to get that final touch and bounced it off Iamano. It'll be a Calder corner kick. Ambo to take, outswinger. Sails over everybody's head. Shimizu tries to keep it in at the back post, but unable. Calder very much on the front foot here. There is blood in the water with that 1-0 lead that they have. They're looking to press now. South Melbourne looking to play out. Westland caught in possession. No foul given on Aiton there. Combination play now through Papatsanis and Christensen. That final pass eluding South Melbourne once again. The creative play through that middle third just not coming out with any tangible result.
Yeah, South Melbourne playing out from the back well, but just struggling to find that final pass into the front third.
That Taranto finding space for Christensen. She'll have the first time pass in. Well tracked back by Alicia Oak.
Danielle Wise was lurking there, but couldn't quite get on the end of that one.
Yeah, it was probably a little bit more time Christensen had to, get her head up and drive the ball into the box a little bit further before making that cross. She's gone early to Westland here. Trying to get some Calder bodies out to the ball. Ball into the box, back post! Grace Rapp with an absolute clinical finish at that back post. What a lovely display of combination play out from that corner kick. Misha Westland and Christensen just dragging the Calder players to the ball, and lurking at that back post was Gracie Rapp, the American with the clinical finish.
Yeah, brilliant ball in there by Westland, and a great finish there from Rapp.
We have an even contest here at Lakeside Stadium. 1-1 here. Calder versus South Melbourne Female Football Week, and you're watching on YouTube.
Goal scorer for South Melbourne FC, number 20, Grace Rapp. The score is South Melbourne 1, Calder 1.
It'll be interesting to see what this does to the Calder momentum. Maybe South will get their momentum back as well.
Probably feel that they've been hard done by South Melbourne. They have been trying to play some really good football through the channels. Quick ball into Grace Rapp. They're in the box in the 18. Christensen making Harriet Lowry's life a living nightmare in the 18-yard box. She couldn't quite calm it down, so she sends it out for a throw-in. Christensen Back to play. Well closed down by Emma Langley. Langley doing all the hard jobs in defensive mid there. She even gets a flick on in that moment to Ayton. Ayton sends it forward in the hope that Jennifer Lum can carry. Varley switches out to Iamano. Westland looks for the switch. Superb ball to Christensen. Calder well back here, so Christensen will have to thread the pass. Can't find it. Christensen on the follow-up once again. She seems to be everywhere. Wise! Too easy for Pitchak.
Great turn and ball in there by Westland. She'll look to do that more as the game progresses.
Misha Westland has played for Adelaide United, Melbourne City in the A-Leagues. Ball in by Dragana Clay. She's first to the ball, and the finish around Pitchak is sublime by Dragana Klajic. This momentum from South Melbourne's first goal now has them leading 2-1.
Yeah, South Melbourne building on their momentum here. You see Esposito joining the celebrations there.
Goal scorer for South Melbourne FC, number 17, Dragana Clay. The score is South Melbourne 2, Calder 1.
And there you have it, score update from groundsman himself. It's absolutely brilliant by South Melbourne. Their relentless pressure in that midfield, a few times they couldn't get that pass quite to come off. But that relentless attitude of pressing and trying to win that ball back by Christensen especially meant that forward momentum came out South Melbourne's way. And unfortunately here we see an injury to Pitchak. It was a great ball through, and Dragana Klage met the ball just before Pitchak was able to get her hands onto it. So the finish was excellent, but unfortunately bodies did collide. Looks like she'd be holding her jaw currently. It's a tough one for goalkeepers. They do have to come out and they have to decide whether or not to go with their hands and their feet or dive at players' feet. It's a critical decision-making process. So I'm not sure Pitchak could do much more in that situation. It was just unfortunate that Dragana got a slight touch ahead of her. Pitchak signed from Western United in that window. She is formerly of Calder United, though. She was elevated into the A-Leagues. She's come back for more playing time here in the NPLW. Rapp with another ball forward to Christensen. Ball into the box. Hyson clears the danger. Eki in the following clear-up. Varley driving through that centre. Strong play by Varley. Rapp with the tackle. Once again, a relentless attitude by South Melbourne, but foul picked up by Varley on the way through. Varley trying to find the feet of Seward. Couldn't quite match it. Ike through the middle. Hayson now. Bouncing it out through Ayton. Hyson now with possession. Tanzam Smith lost possession through Dragana Klajic. Bella Seward couldn't quite get her feet around that. Through ball by Dragana Klajic, the goal scorer.
Calder a bit shaken from that second goal. I think they're playing a bit more negative, but let's hope they can get themselves out of this.
Wrap through the middle. Klajic, well done. Goaded the tackle, but then turned away from the pressure. Iamano driving in. Also a former Western United player. She'll know these players well. She's bumped off the ball. Couldn't quite tell if it was in the box or just outside, but I think there is a free kick just outside the box here. Pichak will line up a wall. That real momentum from that first goal for South Melbourne has really catapulted them into prime position here to take advantage of this foul. Wrap on the ball. Swings it in. Deflection off the wall. Back post Westland. And the following finish by Grace Taranto.
Great little tap in there from Gracie Taranto. Right place, right time. But great ball in, and South Melbourne keeping the pressure here.
Goal scorer for South Melbourne FC, number 22, Grace Taranto. It's South Melbourne 3, Calder 1.
Once again, that forward momentum. South Melbourne unrelenting pressure here. The initial deflection from the free kick made the ball quite hard for Calder to contest with, but Misha Westland at the back post, getting the ball back into the 6-yard box was enough for Grace Taranto to be there, ready to pounce on right in front of goal. Not much Natalie Pichak could do about that one. Christensen causing all kinds of trouble here. Another forward run, ball in behind. Calder trying to clear. Langley, of course, playing in that central midfield role, doing well defensively, but she's not a natural midfielder. She usually plays in the wing. She's got pace to burn. Calder come up with possession, this time through Jen Lum on the turn. Once again, Varley hot on the heels of Jennifer Love, this time giving away the foul. Langley forward through Lowry. Up through Mami Ambo. She guides past Papatsanis. Can't quite get there. Papatsanis does well to use her body to shield that one back to Westland. And Langley with the follow-up clearance for Calder. Currently 3-1 here at Lakeside Stadium at Female Football Week. This clash, Calder United versus South Melbourne. Two invigorated teams with some substitutes. They do have some substitutes available to come off the bench. Most notably, Ava Breedis from Melbourne Victory sitting on the Calder bench, and Emily Roach, who's sitting on South Melbourne's bench. Emily's just come back from a stint. Where was it in?
Playing in the Chinese Super League for Henan FC. She'll look to bring that experience into this lineup hopefully soon.
Yeah, some real game changers there for both teams. So ones to look out for. Maybe Calder will look to that bench a lot earlier than expected as Dragana finds Westland in the midfield there. Back out to Claich. Claich into Iamano, who's drifted inside. She looked for the back post run of Christensen, but well defended by Calder. Jennifer Lum really giving chase up front. Varley able to put her foot on it and just play casually out to Iamano. Ball bouncing. Aitson found to give the last touch off that one. Put it out for a throw-in.
Misha Westland finding herself all over the park, helping South Melbourne play out from the back and even creating a few chances for them.
It's what you want your midfielders to do. Shoulder the burden. Have to get that ball, in relentless midfield positions where you have to have 360 vision at all times. It's one of the most difficult positions to play. That's why only the best do it. Shimizu for Calder. Up to Lum. Varley gets the better of Lum this time and through ball to Christensen. Tackle by Alicia Ike. Langley guides past Varley. Varley giving chase though. Forward pass Langley. Ambo couldn't quite control. Varley switches it out through Seward. Out to Klejc. Scorer of the second goal here. Passes to the first goal scorer, Rapp. Keeping possession. Lovely touches inside there. South Melbourne playing with confidence, playing with that air of 3-1 up. Calder looking to put more pressure on them, but Varley, absolutely beautiful pass into Klejc. Christensen on the turn, lovely save by Pitchak. Strong hand to her left. May still be suffering from that initial contact from the goal, but she does well to dive low to her left. Aiton out to Lowry. Can't quite keep possession as Christensen follows up. Retrieves it for South Melbourne. Goes inside to Rapp. Shimizu doing the defending work now. Good recovery by Lowry. It's a sensational battle out there between Christensen and Lowry. Pitchak able to come and collect. A little bit of breathing space now for Calder. Can they bring themselves together? Try and create some play as Aiton drops into the back line to create a 3 at the back. But with no real width getting high, Hyson has to go in to Lucy Richards, and the pressure from Iamano picks back up possession for South Melbourne. Top of the box, Lowry and Christensen once again coming together. Christensen able to hold it up. Danielle Wise, she finds a shot through the bodies, and Pitchak does well to get low to her right this time and steer it round the post. It would have been difficult for her to see. She had a lot of bodies in the way, did Pitchak. But she did really, really well in that situation.
Yeah, great low-driven shot there by Danielle Wise. Great save from Pitchak.
Bella Seward with the corner, goes direct in swinger. Shimizu with the clearance for Calder, but only as far as Westland. Danielle Wise able to regain possession for South Melbourne. That relentless pressure from South Melbourne really bearing fruit. And the one inside, what a brilliant save by Natalie Pitchak. She's absolutely having a blinder. The scoreline does not reflect the game that Natalie Pitchak is having. Was absolutely brilliant. The ball in by Danielle Wise. Christensen with the follow-up shot. And diving save to Pitchak. Even if she couldn't collect after that initial save, she was able to get her hands back onto the ball. And the follow-up shot from South Melbourne, not to be. Great piece of work by the young goalkeeper.
A lot of action here for Pitchak, but she's holding out well.
Very encouraging after the 8-0 loss against Preston last week. You know, it's tough for a young goalkeeper to have that many goals scored against them, and to rise to this occasion just a week later is a credit to her and to her resilience. Alicia Ike looking for a short pass, but opts to go long in the end. Varley clearing for South Melbourne. Papatanis forward to Christensen. South Melbourne just slowing play down a little bit here. They're 3-1 up. A lot of stages of this first half. Still, they are mounting that pressure on Calder. Lucy Richards trying to get the ball forward to herself, but Varley there to cover for South Melbourne. Calm work by Varley under pressure. Iamano with the nutmeg on Aiton. Forward ball to Bella Sewards. Maya Hyson tracking back. Sewards can't get the ball round Pitchak. She closed that space really, really well. Maya Hyson doing all she could from the side and Pitchak blocking from the front.
Love the cheeky little nutmeg there from Iamano and great ball through.
Jen Lum on the turn again. This time she does. Grace Taranto out wide. Esposito, she can't quite keep it out. That looked like it was over the line, didn't it? Esposito just took her eyes off the ball for a moment. The ball bouncing close to over the line. Look, we're too far to call, I think, that one.
Great recovery from Esposito.
She was able just to clear it out just in time.
Good signs here from Calder to get back into this match.
All you need one is, a set piece to go in. Lucy Richards looking for the ball short, working with Mummy Ambo, but the short pass back. She's able to get round Westland, though. Clearance by Taranto. Westland giving chase. Ball in by Smith. Shimizu on the volley. Lovely take by Esposito. Nothing she could need to worry about, but lovely chested down pass by Shimizu. And the quick volley. Lovely to watch here.
One goal here from Calder can really break the momentum of South Melbourne.
You have to remember, Calder did go 1-0 up early on in the first half, only to lose that lead as South Melbourne has simply just continuously built on goal after goal and just kept the pressure on Calder, as we see Grace Rapp with being heavily challenged. Perhaps a little bit of whiplash there. Great to see Grace Rapp up and about. Although it is a head injury, she'll probably need to be assessed, making sure that she's able to play on.
Yeah, looked like an awkward one there, but I'm sure we'll see her back in soon.
Yeah, she just had a shoulder charge right into the central area of the spine there. Just makes the head create a whiplash sensation.
Game's getting a bit more aggressive, I'm seeing.
Yamano cuts inside. Cut out by Shimizu. Lucy Richards has time and space. Can she find a pass? Lum with a little bit of space ahead of her, but she can't quite manage to get it there before Iamano covering for South Melbourne. Grace Rapp looking to come on. South Melbourne physio trying to get her on as quickly as possible.
A little bit more pressure on South Melbourne here. Let's hope they don't get too complacent.
Calder with the momentum at the moment. You can feel that pendulum swing sometimes in a football match, and it certainly has swung for Calder right now. But if they don't capitalise on it, I dare say this will give South Melbourne a chance to regain their composure. Papatanis forward to Christensen. Laurie trying to keep a handle on it, but Christensen just managing to squirm a way through on that sideline, but can't keep it in. Laurie down into Langley. Pressure by Bella Sewards deemed a foul by Daphne Gunaris. Langley on the ball for Calder. Ball in. Esposito coming out to claim before Jen Lum can get there. Play on. Long pass from Varley, cut out by Adeline Ayton. South Melbourne with another throw. Poor ball girl working overtime with the athletics track around. She does need some teammates, I feel. She's run more. She put a GPS on her. Rapp with the ball forward. Danielle Wise giving chase this time, but Ayton able to clean up for Calder, but only as far as Seward guides that pass right into Christensen's pass. She cuts inside this time, uses the left foot. Can't beat Alicia Ike. Alicia Ike dancing around South Melbourne players. Jen Lum drops the ball back to Harriet Lowry.
You can see Leah Varley and Gracie Taranto. Either one of them is really stepping into the midfield high to put some pressure on the Calder midfield.
Calder throw. Into the last 5 or so minutes here at Lakeside Stadium. Head clash from Pitchak and Grace Rapp, the only stoppages that we've had in play. So there may be 7 or 8 minutes here that can be played for Calder to regain some distance from that 3-1 scoreline we are seeing at the moment. If they can bring it back to 3-2 and stop this forward foray from South Melbourne, it'll put them in good stead for the second half. Richards on the turn to Shimizu. Smith trying to keep it in. She does so, but only as far as Rapp in the midfield for South Melbourne. Hyson clearing for Calder.
Bit shaky for both teams. Neither want to concede in the last 5 minutes of a match because it's quite common.
Yamano into Clutch. Into Westland through the midfield here. South Melbourne looking to open up Calder just that little bit more, using some real composure here. They can just draw them out. They can get in behind them once again. But Calder looking to place more pressure up top, forcing them once again all the way back to Esposito. She'll go long. Cut out by Laurie again. This time bouncing back to Westland. Gets it to Christensen once again. And the forward one by Westland nearly met with a clinical pass by Christensen. Calder having to go all the way back to Pitchak here. She clears. Bella Seward picks up for South Melbourne. Cleaned up by Grace Taranto.
South Melbourne really getting on these first and second balls, which is really helping their momentum here.
Danielle Wise, top of the box, back to Klejc. She'll be unhappy with that, Klejc, but certainly right that it's not always about that first tackle. It's about the bouncing balls. It's about the first and second tries. And that can really break down a team's forward momentum if you can just stop the ball from bouncing and get your foot on it. But then once you're in tackles, it's about getting that first and second touch on it. Pichak denies Hyson the small pass and goes long. But once again, South Melbourne picking up possession. Inside to Shimizu. Calder again with the throw. Just a handball called there by Harriet Laurie. Grace Taranto. Just taking her time to set up here. She'll go long. Well met by Smith for Calder. Ball bouncing just eludes her. Dragana Klajic picks it up for South Melbourne. Good recovery by Calder. Smith able to recover well enough to play the ball out. Yamano with a lot to choose from. Klajic gets it into the box. Wise. Westland now on the ball bouncing. She tries to scoop it over the top. Christensen will still get there. Lovely feet there by Christensen. Once again, this time the left-footed cross. Referee finding Danielle Wise just tripping up Adeline Ayton in that moment. It's been difficult for Calder to get midfield possession. Adeline Ayton dropping all the way back into the defensive line to try and pick up possession. Jen Lum with the flick on. Laurie, unfortunately, coming from an offside position. She was the overlapping fullback in that instance. Really trying that rotation there where Ayton comes in and makes in a back three and then possibly sending wing backs higher.
South Melbourne dropping off a bit when Calder are playing out, but it seems as if once they get into that mid-third, they've got the high pressure on.
Yeah, they're trying to probably goad them into playing into that midfield and then really pressing hard. Shimizu unable to control that pass, but Rapp gets it to Westland, inside to Seward. She can turn, well tracked back by Lucy Richards though. She'll put enough pressure on that Hayson can clear. Richards to get it again, this time up to Lum. Huge battle between Lum and Rapp there. Back to Iamano. She can find a forward pass to Bella Seward. Dragana Klajic, early ball into the box. Well cut out by Maya Hayson.
Danielle Wise was lurking there. If it connected, the cross connected, she might have been on 1v1.
Just a little bit of a deeper cross, but it was a great idea by Dragana Klajic.
A lot of energy up this left side with Klajic.
Yamano with the throw. Yamano back to Taranto, into Westland. Calder trying to put the pressure on South Melbourne. Plays out this time. Lowry into Shimizu, the ball bouncing up, hits Grace Taranto in the arm. And that's half-time here at Lakeside Stadium. We have the hosts 3-1 up in this first half after goals from Grace Taranto, Dragana Klajic,
The score is
Grace Rapp,
3, Calder 1.
And the one follow-up shot from Mami Ambo from Calder. We see these two teams head into the sheds 3-1 to the favourites of the home side. Let's join us back in 15 minutes for this Female Football Week clash between Calder United and South Melbourne. I'm your host, Melissa Barbieri, alongside Laura Hughes. as the players return to the field of play here at Lakeside Stadium. Joining myself, Melissa Barbieri, alongside me, Laura Hughes in the commentating box. It's been an absolute great game this afternoon so far. South Melbourne leading Calder 3-1 at halftime. What's your thoughts on the game so far, Laura?
Yeah, I think there's a big 45 minutes coming up. South Melbourne will look to put a few more on Calder and see out the match, or Calder might turn on them and get a few more. I think there's a few more goals left in this match. I think it'll be an aggressive 45 minutes.
Huge shout out to Baz and Sally. Probably in Canberra right now.
Yeah, listening in. Laura
Hughes, mum and dad. Huge shout out to them. I met them the other day. It's been an absolute pleasure to meet them. So I know they're listening. But Calder have made their way out onto the pitch. Just one substitution at halftime here for South Melbourne. We'll see Emily Roach enter field and goal scorer Grace Rapp exiting the field. She scored the opener for South Melbourne. And by the looks of it, it is a straight swap. Emily Roach coming into that midfield position as South Melbourne set up to take the kick.
Emily Roach, a fantastic attacking midfielder, returned from the Chinese Super League. Former Canberra United and Newcastle player. She's a great attacking-minded player, and she'll look to assist and score some goals in this half, I think.
Early possession for Emily Roach. Get her foot on the ball here. Iomano looks to find Westland. High pressure from Calder. Ooh, nearly yields in possession, but challenge deemed illegal on Misha Westland. A little bit of a different mentality from Calder United here. Really stepping up that pressure. Really going for it. The 3-1 scoreline. The opening goal set them into good stead from the outset. They were 1-0 up, but South Melbourne really came back, capitalised on the pressure that they put on Calder. Scored from Grace Rapp. Then the follow-up strike from Dragana Clage, a 1-on-1. And then that final third goal by Grace Taranto. All great goals, by the way, and some magnificent. I lost my vocabulary there for a second. Magnificent saves by Natalie Pitchak has still kept Calder in this match. No doubt, if they can apply pressure to South Melbourne, as we see Lowry just lose possession, lose her footing. Great turn by Emily Roach here, but picked up by Ike. Pressure. She had the pressure on her back and she did turn. She was away. That's why the foul was called. Varley tries to find Seward, but Lucy Richards in the way. Shimizu cut out by Iomano. Westland trying to regain a little bit of composure here for South Melbourne. They'll go all the way back to Esposito. She has to go long. The battle, Iomano and Richards, comes up for Smith on that other side.
A few nervy moments here for South Melbourne.
I thought you were going to say me.
You as well.
Me as well. Couldn't spit out my words.
Magnificent.
Thank you. Much better from Calder here. They're applying that high press. All they need is for that ball to fall to the right player in the right space. All calls for the ball. Referee with the final decision going Calder's way. Oh, South Melbourne's way, sorry. Iomano with the long throw. Pressure by Hyson. Emily Roach just cut out by Langley. Dragana Klajic Picks up possession once again. Once again, that second ball bouncing to the favour of South Melbourne. Wise through ball to Christensen.
Ball.
Another absolutely blinder of a ball by South Melbourne to Christensen. Wise on the cutback. Clearance. Ambo, far post finish. Unable to find the target. Comes off that back post. Westland makes a run forward. And Iamano's ball cut out by Shimizu. Lucy Richards does have time and space to carry here. She'll look to draw out a South Melbourne player, but the well-timed challenge by Grace Taranto. She's just picked up the ball and she's able to go forward and carry through the centre-back, making another run into the box. Christensen against Lowry. Left foot. Back post run by Dragana Clage.
Great intervention there by Gracie Taranto.
It's a well-timed challenge. Lucy Richards did well to try and draw out a Calder defender, but she just held on to it just that fraction too long. South Melbourne defender, sorry. So Grace Taranto doing an excellent job to cut out that pass. Well-timed challenge. Westland finding the feet of Roach. The 1-2 with Wise. The forward run by Clage, intercepted by Hyson for Calder. Amy Ambo back to Langley. Ball bouncing. Calder trying to put their foot on it. Pitchak only as far as Roach. Into the 18. Shot on target but blocked by Hyson. The follow-up cleared by Adeline Aiton in the centre of defence for Calder. The centre midfielder just in the right place at the right time. Hyson still struggling after that powerful shot by Emily Roach.
Emily Roach, an injection of energy into this South Melbourne midfield.
Westland nice and close for Christensen for a short corner, but she'll go long into the box. The bending corner almost sees it go in at the front post, but
almost an Olympico. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, an
straight
Olympico. When it goes straight in off the corner. Pitchak would have been breathing a sigh of relief to see that hit the top netting. She has been brilliant today, Pitchak. Ike with the ball trying to drive out. Great pressure from Danielle Wise. Still in Calder's possession though. Mami Ambo. Jen Lum combining well. Forward run. Papatana sticks out a leg. She was able to stop that forward foray for Calder. Just enough to disrupt them. South Melbourne pick up the throw. Papatsanis. Cleared by Laurie. Christensen with the flick on. Alicia Eki clears for Calder. Barley finds Taranto. Clearance. Cut out by Lucy Richards. Shimizu with tidy feet. Gets the ball to Adeline Aiton. Calm by Calder under pressure, but the through ball can't get past Emily Roach. She plays the ball forward into Christensen's path. Into Westland. Lovely touch off to Roach. Trying to find that back post runner, Danielle Wise. Westland following up. Ball back into Clage. Another one into the head of Maya Hyson for a second time this afternoon. She is just absolutely putting her body on the line for these shots. And once again, the ricochet into the head. Definitely stopping another goal on target. Maya Hyson doing well.
Great use of the body. She'll be seeing stars after that one, I think. Bit more pressure here from South Melbourne as they want to defend this 3-1 lead.
Yeah, it's one of those things with defenders. You've got to have great positioning, and sometimes just being in the right place at the right time means you're putting your body on the line. Not sure she knew much about that shot. It was coming quite swiftly. But no doubt Calder are very appreciative of her mentality in putting her body on the line. Hopefully she's okay, just giving her a minute to compose herself. And with head injury situations, teams are required to give assessment and take that little bit of extra time, and referees do allow for physios to come onto the pitch and really give accurate assessments of head injuries.
She seems to have bounced back from that one pretty quick, though, so that's good to see.
She did, but we have a substitution. Does look like... Is there a substitution? May actually have come off in that instance. No, maybe Alicia Ecky's just gone into the back line. We'll just get that substitution if it did happen. South Melbourne, again, career forward. Danielle Wise, ball to Emily Roach. Tries to find Christensen. Well cut out by Lowry. There was a substitution. Karina Todorova, number 42, coming on for Maya Hyson. Ball back to Esposito. Esposito to Varley. Westland. Heavy pressure from Todorova. She's trying to get herself into the game early. Karina Todorova. Substitution forced by Calder. It sees Adeline Ayton go into the back line from the midfield for Calder into that back four. Ball bouncing. Roach picks it up. Well cut out by Alicia Ike. She goes back all the way to Pichak. Pichak trying to find a teammate, but Westland in the middle for South Melbourne with a calm and collected pick up. Ball bouncing, header back to Pichak.
Danielle Wise and Emily Roach previously had a good partnership at Heidelberg United a couple of seasons ago. So you'll see Emily Roach looking to hit Danielle Wise on those nice through balls.
Emily Roach with some great composure and some experience in that midfield with great vision. So no doubt teams watching this afternoon will be thinking this adds another element of South Melbourne firepower. Ooh, Todorova thought she timed that challenge well on Westland, but unfortunately for the young substitute, she has picked up a foul. Now, we are going by numbers that we have been giving on the teed sheet, so we do hope that is the correct player. It's very hard to see from this far away. Emily Roach over the ball. This will be an outswinger unless she drives it front post. She does. Danielle Wise from almost the penalty spot had Pichak diving to her left. So it was a great set piece by South Melbourne.
Trying to catch Calder off guard there with a low-driven ball into the box.
Certainly was.
Dealt with it well, though.
Yeah, they did deal with it well. So it was great by South Melbourne, but equally dealt with by Calder. Ayton chased down by Danielle Wise, and that stays in off the flag. Press again by South Melbourne. Calder trying to push the ball as far forward as possible. Amy Ambo giving chase here with Esposito. Grace Taranto in the midfield with two players all around her. Shimizu and Jennifer Lum picking up possession for Calder. Jen Lum in the box. Can she turn? just gets her foot stuck in the ground. Todorova with the ball over the top. Esposito claiming for South Melbourne.
Todorova injecting herself well into this game. Not easy coming on as a substitute late in matches when it's neck and neck.
Ball bouncing. Wise with the pace. She's putting Lowry under pressure. She goes back to Pitchak once again. This time Pitchak has to go wide. Too many bodies in front of her to try and clear. Christensen going to the byline. Well defended by Alicia Ike.
Both teams looking to pass back to their goalkeepers at times with the high pressure.
It's that little bit of a release valve, isn't it?
Definitely, usually the goalkeeper's usually free at the back there.
Papatsanis. A lot of green shirts in front of her, but she tries to find Christensen. She manages it. Papatsanis also gets a ball into the box. Aiton gets her body in the way, but it falls to Emily Roach. Not enough pressure on the ball. Allows Roach to get the ball nearly to Christensen. Calder doing well to escape the clutches of the South Melbourne attack. Mamie Ambo, ball bouncing. Lanley just helps it on. She does her best. No real possession here until South Melbourne can put their foot on it. Varley finding Westland in between the spaces. Westland goes back once again. Varley over the top. It's interesting to see how early the assistant referee put the flag up in that instance.
Varley and Taranto really finding Westland in nice little pockets behind Calder's press. Really unlocking it.
Jen Lum with the flick on to goal scorer Mamie Ambo. Papatsanis doing well to hold up play though. Varley turning out of pressure, turning out of danger. She goes to Esposito. Esposito forward. Emily Roach cut out by Alicia Aki. Christensen drops the ball in favour of Papatsanis. Another throw in. It's time for Calder. Shimizu, ball bouncing. It's so hard to control. Varley under pressure by Lucy Richards. She gets it out to Taranto. Taranto into Westland. Couldn't quite get the ball out. Todorova picks it up for Calder. Great battle there. Lucy Richards comes away with it. Varley comes to clear and it goes out for a corner.
Promising signs here for Calder. They're really trying to put some pressure on South Melbourne to get a goal back. A goal would really help them get back into this match.
And they're looking to inject another substitution. Calder looks to be following this set piece, but looks to be Mummy Ambo off for Olivia Anderson. Mummy Ambo, her last thing to do in this game is to send in the corner. Great header by Shimizu, but it comes straight to the hands of Esposito. Christensen on the feet. Plays it into Seward. Helped on by Wise. Emily Roach is in an offside position.
Bit too eager there from Roach. Called offside.
And I was completely wrong. That sub was not for Calder. That sub is for South Melbourne. But we see Ava Breedis coming on into the forward line for Calder United. She'll sit in that 10 position. And Akane Shimizu has exited the field on this camera side. As we see Bella Seward number 8. Going off for Kiara Chronopoulos, number 11 for South Melbourne. We see Grace Taranto step into midfield for South Melbourne, and Kiara settle into that centre back alongside Leah Varley. Kiara Chronopoulos, South Melbourne junior, climbing all the way into the ranks of the senior football, so it's great to see her come back onto the field. Iamano with some fantastic footwork, can't clear Lucy Richards. Ava Breedis has come off a scholarship with Melbourne Victory in this past A-League season, finding some time on the pitch, but now really giving herself some minutes in the NPLW will help her rise to the A-Leagues once again next season.
At such a young age, she'll be injecting a bit of experience also into this midfield, and hopefully will push for a goal for Calder.
Throw in Calder, trying to really push forward here. They're trying to close that gap. That 3-1 lead held by South Melbourne hasn't looked convincing. In reality, you know, Pichak has made some great saves, so it's kept her team well in the game, and I think if they can just try and get their foot on the ball and keep possession, relying on the long pass a little bit too much, and the experience of the South Melbourne defenders can really read that. So they really need to open them up through that centre. Adeline Aiton to Langley. Forward to Mamiambo. Papatanis. Find Christensen on that transition moment. Calder unable to keep possession though. Leishoki can see that out for a Calder goal kick. Calder with a sense of urgency now with their goal kicks. You can really start to feel that they want to put pressure on South Melbourne. They want to get the ball into their front third. That just can't quite manage to string enough passes together to really make themselves dangerous. Papatanis. Long into Christensen. Christensen rolls Lowry, but the double down from Calder still allows Christensen to get a ball into the box, but probably surprised her South Melbourne teammates as much as the Calder.
Both teams struggling to find that final key pass that's going to set them up for a shot at goal.
Wise on the turn. Covered by Langley for Calder. Roach with the flick on. Wise opted for the back heel. Great body work by Roach. Turns inside. Head up, ball back to Chronopoulos. Varley looking for options. She goes back to Chronopoulos. Papatanis into Christensen, who's dropped deep in order to gain possession. She's now in the centre of midfield with all her midfielders bombing forward. Great ball in to Wise, but she was in an offside position. If she had have left that for Dragana Klajic, you might have found that she would have been well in behind, because that was a superb pass. Pichak long Once again, Lucy Richards can't quite control the ball long enough to regain meaningful possession for Calder. And we have a foul throw for South Melbourne. So Calder here have an opportunity into their front, in their middle third, to regain possession and try and play some football.
Calder really looking to play quickly with free kicks and throw-ins, try and catch South Melbourne off guard.
Jennifer Lum now carrying forward. Finds Lucy Richards out on the right wing. Richards and Iamano, former Western United teammates, probably know each other very well in that instance. Throw in, taken quickly. Taranto now playing in midfield, bundled off the ball, but South Melbourne still have it. Langley, she has her head up, finds Mambo. Great cutout by Papatanis. This time Jennifer Lum with the through ball to Mamiambo, but Christina Esposito has time enough to pick it up. Christensen flicks it on for Emily Roach. Roach brings it down. Tries to stand up her Calder player. But she's double teamed now. She's going to need some help to get out of this one. She doesn't need the help. But Eki with the recovery. Papatanis. Danielle Wise. And Pichak covering in behind. Ayton up to Richards once again. Adarova able to get it back to Smith, but unable to keep possession. Once again, Calder just letting themselves down. Credit where credit is due, though. South Melbourne keeping Calder under that pressure every time they transition. Calder giving the call to step the line up and leave players offside. Offside trap has worked in this instance. That's the attitude of the Calder United players. They're trying to keep their team involved. The defenders really screamed up the park then, leaving 4 or 5 South Melbourne players offside. Yamano with the clearance for South Melbourne. Ava Breedis defending with her body. Picks up the free kick for Calder.
Both benches getting quite vocal in these final 20 minutes.
Still 3-1 here at Lakeside. Ball in by Adeline Ayton. Goes long. Grace Taranto with the initial header. Lowry with the follow-up. Interesting clearance by Esposito. She opted for the clearance with her feet. She had a Calder player coming in.
Bit of an awkward one there for Esposito. Looked like she was going to catch it on the full, but it fell quite quickly. Had to opt for a quick clearance with her feet.
Yeah, it's a little unorthodox, but you know, once you've been smashed in the teeth a couple of times as a goalkeeper, you kind of understand when people opt to go with their feet.
Well, whatever keeps the ball out of the net, right? So, worked for her.
Varley goes one level higher. Unfortunately for Lowry, it gets through. Christensen now has time and space. She cuts inside on her left foot, that favoured left foot. The back post run, the flick on by Smith is enough to guide it past the feet of Dragana Klajic. And it'll be another South Melbourne corner.
Christensen with some gut-busting runs down this right side. South Melbourne really pushing for a goal. They say the best defence is attack, so they'll want to score early if they can.
They really want to put this game to bed, South Melbourne. It is currently 3-1 in their favour, but they haven't really been convincing to see it out. Calder very much still in this battle. Clearance by Lowry.
Great ball in there by Roach. Gracie Taranto almost on the end of it.
Calder still holding strong in this second half. Clearance by Adeline Aiton. Lum holding up. Chests it down. Keeps it in play too. Hiranopoulos does well to regain possession though. Calder really stepping up now as it goes all the way back to Christina Esposito. Lucy Richards unable to keep that one in play. And I do go to say Chloe Esposito because our gold medalist from the Olympics. So I'm extremely sorry, Christina. Farley looks inside to Roach. Roach unable to keep possession. Ava Breedis with her first look on goal. Unable to keep it down.
Nervy moments there. Unlucky for Breedis not to keep that one down.
Another substitution for South Melbourne as we see Dragana Klajic exit the field. And also, there's a second substitution that I may have missed, but
it's like Christensen heading over to the right side.
oh no, that was what I saw. Christensen
Yeah.
is just heading on to the right side. Farley clearance up to Danielle Wise. Lands at Langley for Calder. She turns, shoots. Esposito calmly catches. And that substitution, for South Melbourne, I forgot to complete it, was Georgia Candilis. Out on the right, she's swapped with Christensen. Christensen now out on the left. Georgia Candilis, almighty speedster, out on the right-hand side. Aiton dispossesses Danielle Wise, but then once again, that regain of possession and that transition moment not capitalised by Calder. They're a little bit out of sorts at the moment, Calder.
Yeah, they're starting to throw a lot more numbers forward. Really pushing with 15 minutes left. Having a bit of success with a few shots on goal, but none quite troubling for Christina Esposito.
Aiton with the clearance on the turn. Quite a difficult one in the end, but she does well. Tracking back is Lucy Richards. Smith under pressure from two South Melbourne players. The ball into the box by Roach, met by Lowry. Langley gets it to Ava Breezes. She can run. Can the youngster produce some magic here? She's stopped dead in her tracks by Kiara Hiranopoulos. Oop. A moment of lapse of concentration for Alicia Eki. Has the ball bouncing in the box, and that does look like it comes off the shoulder of Adeline Aiton. Screams for handball as Danielle Wise gets the ball into the box once again. Candilis. Westland. Into Christensen. This is time on the left-hand side, and the volley did make Pitchak have to cover her far post. She had great connection on that one.
Not bad there from Christensen. She can do it from both sides.
Substitution for Calder. Double substitution. Alicia Eki off. Harriet Lowry off. We'll see their replacements. Matilda Lowry, one of those substitutions. And Olivia Anderson, the other. Screaming forward now. Jennifer Lum with possession. Ball forward now. Matilda, Olivia Anderson trying to give Calder some forward width. She comes inside now. Maybe some combination play, but only as far back.
South Melbourne sitting really deep now. Calder putting the pressure on. I think they call this commentator's curse.
Christensen into the box now. Cuts it across for Danielle Wise, but it's well tracked back by Eva McCorian. Eva McCorian heavily strapped with that left knee. Calder throwing numbers forward. They really are attack-minded players in Matilda Lowry. Young players, but certainly with a level of energy that Calder need at this time.
Heading into the last 10 minutes, South want to just keep their possession of the ball, not give away too many cheap fouls.
Follow up with the header is Varley. Excellent ball in by Emily Roach once again. The in-swinging corner just doesn't allow for Pitchak to come and get it. And Varley was a fraction away from getting her cab off the rank here in this 2024 NPLW season with South Melbourne.
Great connection there from Varley.
As we see the ball returned for a goal kick because Pitchak still had it rolling. Eva McCorian out to Lowry. This time Matilda. Roach just calming things down for South Melbourne. She'll get the return pass.
Emily Roach
switches out through Westland.
She's pulling the strings here a bit for South Melbourne, trying to calm down, keep possession.
It's a bit frantic. Those transition moments occur one after the other. It becomes very tiring, and that follow-up tackle from Varley on Jennifer Lum has been reprimanded with a yellow card for the central defender.
Big challenge there from Varley. I've been on the end of one of those, and they're not fun.
No. Train like we play.
Such a physical presence there in the centre of defence.
Langley over the ball for Calder. Really starting to throw numbers forward. As we see referee just having a word to Chiara Hernopoulos. It looks like Chiara Hernopoulos does have jewellery on. Daphne Gunaris just holding up play for her to take it off. Langley. Ball over the top, long and deep. Esposito underneath. It's come off the crossbar. Lum couldn't get the follow-up. Calder still putting the pressure on.
Ball just didn't quite fall there kindly for Calder. An awkward one there for Esposito, but dealt with well by South.
Bit of game management here from South Melbourne, trying to slow things down, run the game at their place, at their pace. Langley on the follow-up. Grace Taranto fouled by Ava Breedis. Questioning the call there is Ava Breedis. She'll be lucky not to get a card here. South Melbourne played quickly on this occasion. Iamano out to Christensen, into Taranto. Ball back out to Iamano, the overlapping run by the fullback. She's still pressing hard. She wins back possession for South Melbourne through a throw.
South Melbourne will probably look to wind down the clock here.
Wise turns inside, fires off a shot, back post. Candilis, can she follow up? Pitchak again in the ray with Roach, and the follow-up comes off the back staunching of the goal.
Great
once again,
opportunity.
Pitchak not allowing the ball to rest stopped. She'll be called back to take that again in a hurry. She's trying to play the ball quickly, but the ball needs to be stopped dead before she can play.
Great opportunity there from South Melbourne. Roach just can't keep that one down.
Forward throw. Lum trying to do everything for her team. She's taking a throw. Langley. Back to McGorian. Langley loses her footing for a moment, and Danielle Wise on the follow-up. Can she keep it in? She can't.
Awkward challenge there, but they're both laughing about it.
Yeah, it's all done in good spirits. Nothing ill intent in that one. Langley on the turn. Varley manages to get the header away. Misha Westland caught in possession by Breedis, but Iamato cutting off that forward pass to Lucy Richards. Taking it down. Lucy Richards taking Iamano down, but play on, says the referee. Ava Breedis regaining possession for Calder. Langley on the turn. She can face forward here. Ball into Jen Lum. Can she fire off a shot? She does. Just some tired legs from Jen Lum. She had just been screaming up the pitch, taking a throw in only a moment ago. Just ran out of legs in that final moment.
Yeah, there wasn't much option for her to dribble with South Melbourne having a couple of players back, so opted for the long shot, but just couldn't keep it down and doesn't trouble Esposito too much.
It really feels like you carry watermelons when you feel like that. It's so heavy, your legs are heavy, and you know what you need to do, but you just can't quite get that shot off on target.
Yeah, feeling a bit of the noodle legs.
Yeah, got the noodle legs. Carrying watermelons to noodle legs. Esposito goes long. Great interception by Karina Todorova. Esposito just taking her time. It's how you can tell that, you know, a team feels that the pendulum is swinging in the opposition's favour when they're slowing things down and taking their time doing things. Christensen in possession for South Melbourne. Taranto back to Varley. The second run from Danielle Wise will be onside. If Messon can get onto it, it may be in an offside position, but she goes round Pitchak, and finally we see the offside call from the Lions person.
Emily Roach, once again, in another big challenge, but she dusted off well.
Pitchak now with the offside free kick. She'll have to go long here. They're running out of time, Calder. 3-1 still. There has been no real threat to either goal in this other, apart from the Langley free kick and a couple of off chances, and Pitchak hasn't been as busy this second half as the first half. So Calder have managed to seal that back line a little bit better Megorian playing it off Danielle Wise, but it falls to Westland. Touch into Roach. Calm by Roach. Can't quite make anything of the cross though. Pichak can go long and quickly here. She's 2v2 in the back line with her Calder teammates, but she opts to go short to Ayton. She'll go long now, but once South Melbourne have their numbers back, it's not in the advantage of Calder. Christensen cuts inside towards goal. She has Westland. She has Candilis.
Both teams with a few half chances, but both goalkeepers have been getting in their safe hands. Starting to get a bit scrappy now with Calder pushing for a goal and South trying to hold on to the lead.
Grace Taranto looks inside, finds Danielle Wise. She's just offside though. Early call from assistant referee. Yeah, you'll find a match does that. Once a team decides that they're going to throw numbers forward, they can become a little bit chaotic in their adventures forward, but it just means that they have more numbers in their attacking line, but it also leaves them exposed in the back line. So South Melbourne trying to capitalise on that transition moment. Calder winning the free kick on the right-hand side. I might set it up again. Langley in the box this time. Ayton to take. Oh, she'd want that back, Adeline Ayton. Clearance by Megorian. Ava Breedis gets a touch on it. Uses her deception well, but she can't get the ball to Lucy Richard. Candilis to Westland.
Gracie Taranto finding herself up front now. I think she's played every position this match.
Roach with the through ball this time. Danielle Wise is onside. Great Pichak save in the end. Was able to get down low and this time make that save.
South Melbourne asking questions, but Pichak has the answer. Great ball in there by Roach and just missed that one from Danielle Wise.
We're into added time here at Lakeside. Pichak will have to go long. She puts it on the ground. Iamano with the header. Just putting out that flame for South Melbourne. Christensen rounds two Calder players. She can knock it and run here if she likes, but she opts to cut back in. Gives Calder a second chance, but that determination by Christensen finds the run of Candilis at the back post. Candilis, she keeps it in. Pichak has to make the save. And South Melbourne will find themselves with a corner.
Emily Roach been sending in some nice weighted corners. So we'll see if some tall timber for South Melbourne can get on the end of it. Perhaps Leah Varley or Gracie Taranto.
Yeah, they are one of the tallest teams in the league. And they're not really bothering to send too many players up front. They do have Varley out there, but Christensen and Roach over the ball in the corner. They could opt to go waste time, but it looks like they're sending it in. Outswinger by Roach. Into the box. Christensen there. The follow-up shot, the deflection off Langley. Roach misreads the bounce. Jennifer Lum having to chase her own ball.
The bounce is a killer sometimes when you miss time. A challenge.
How much time do Calder have? Do they have enough time to get one back here? Grace Taranto does well to clear it for South Melbourne. Calder's certainly not on their haunches. They're still doing everything they can. Grace Taranto, time and space. She drives forward. Another great challenge by the Calder defence. This time picked up by Danielle Wise. And the tug on the shirt. Caught by referee Daphne. And the yellow card issued on substitute Olivia Anderson in that tackle. South Melbourne in prime position. They'll be looking to really seal this win here as Emily Roach stands over the ball.
She might fancy a shot here.
Well, her delivery has been absolutely immaculate in corner situations. She does go along the ground. She was probably hoping that someone could get a toe in. It's always difficult for goalkeepers in that situation. She thinks somebody's going to get a touch, but you might just see it come through the bodies late. Another free kick here for South Melbourne, this time a handball.
Yeah, not a bad effort there from Roach, but Pitchak has been quite good on the low-driven shots, so it doesn't trouble her too much.
Long by Varley. Straight out for a throw-in. All soaking up time for South Melbourne. They're in no rush to allow Calder to take it quickly. Clearance by Amano.
Yeah, Amano's been so strong down that left side. Not giving Calder anything.
Throw from Calder. It's disappointing from Calder for them. Unable to keep possession from a throw-in. Christensen goes long. Danielle Wise into the corner. Aiton will see that over the line. They'll come inside for a goal kick. Most likely the last kick of the game, though, for Calder. They'll look to go forward quickly. Ball into Langley. Lovely touch by Langley. Can she see a forward run by a teammate? She does. She finds Mammy Ambo. Ambo comes inside. The first half goal scorer. Can she find another teammate? She does. She gets the ball out wide right. The ball into the box. Lum can't find it. Breedis. Follow up Papatsanis. Trying to clear for South Melbourne. And unfortunately for Calder, they couldn't find that consolation goal. But they did fight all the way to the end.
The final score is South Melbourne 3, Calder 1. Could you please stay around as there will be a presentation for the Community Shield that will be held on the ground. Thank you.
Yeah, fairly even match at times. Both teams had their opportunities, but South Melbourne were able to capitalise on theirs.
Yeah, great game by Natalie Pitchak from Calder United. Sees Calder find themselves a little bit better off this week in terms of performance than last week against Preston United. But if you have any games to get to this weekend, please do so in support of Female Football Week. It's all about females. It's all about football. And you're going to get out there and support us and really keep this momentum going from the World Cup as we see South Melbourne come out winners here at Lakeside Stadium 3-1 against Calder United.